Hello everyone, and welcome back to Conquest, where today we are not going back to Inferno Bastion. So, I did try to retake Inferno Bastion last week, but there was obviously not a video last week, so let's just take a look at how that went. This run's cooked, but we learned some things. Okay, I can hear my lightning turret shooting over here. Are we good? Oh. How? Oh my god, this sector sucks. It's so bad, I hate it. Oh my god. Alright, well, there goes attempt number 3. Barite got hit early, and I went down there to try to build defense without realizing that it was gone already, and then ran out of Barite. So, that's so cool. We can't really build Instaro if we don't have any Instaro. Already! We are 8:25 in this one, and we are getting pushed already. I just don't know what to do. I don't know what to do. I have been saving schematics of my base. That's how hard this sector is. I have to save a schematic of the base that I've built in order to beat the sector. I do not want to be here anymore. Yeah, aren't you guys the absolute worst thing I've ever had to encounter? I hope you all die. I hope you go into that lava and sink and turn into slag and then sink to the bottom of the core and get crushed to death. Okay, this run's over, basically. There is no recovering. I've already lost so much time trying to defend. It's simply not worth the effort. Ha! Ha 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 ha! Right, okay. That is not good. Watch this instantly. They're gonna decide that the core's there, and then... yeah. Yeah, so I think instead we're gonna give Finistera a try, and we're gonna save Inferno Bastion for a little bit later. Maybe once I figured out an actual strategy, because I'll probably be working on that one in the background. Anyways, Finistera is the one we're going to today. You land in a claustrophobic, cramped sector. The enemy has found a great value here. They are attacking on 4 directions. Some zones will be active after a while, others will be active the entire time. There's a large population of barite creatures here. Take down the hives. Fantastic. So it's going to be similar to, I think it was it Thanatos? Let's find out. Yeah, Thanatos, because it had 3 different ways to go, and now there's just going to be a 4th one. So that's going to be lovely. Alright, here we go. Finistera, take 1, eradication threat level. Will I be able to beat this today? Honestly, with the track record of these eradications, probably not, but, you know, we'll give it a try. Okay, well, we're already off to a absolutely flying start. We have got a support assembly bay fully equipped with what looks to be every single thing we need to build Luminary, which is oh so fantastic because I always find myself never building them because I either don't have the time, the space, or the resources to spare. I will now, though, so that's good. We've got a pretty decent amount of starting resources that go all the way up to there, and down here, and over here, and over here. Okay, let's open the map so I'm not walking in a circle here. Okay, interesting. So it kind of looks like we're going to be fighting the enemies kind of in a spiral. We got to go zoop, and then zoop, zoop, or no, down here, zoop, and like this. Okay, so that's not too bad. Okay, so yeah, probably name of the game is either we're going to make 2 pretty thick walls, or we're just going to have 1 for each sector, which is probably why we have luminaries. We're probably going to station like a quarter of them here, 1 here, 1 here, 1 here, and then we can like take control of them and build something in case we need to go over there. Okay, that makes sense. Well, let's get to work. I don't know how long we have. We've got 12 minutes. That's actually a pretty long time to get a pretty substantial amount of resources going, so let's get to it. Oh, and I also noticed we've spawned with a Amphilos, so that's not a good sign. That means it's going to be pretty hard. Oh, great. Okay, well, first things first, get the basic stuff going. We can get lodestone and lithium going after that. We'll see where we are. Okay, we're back. There's about 7 minutes left. I think we're making some pretty good time. We've got a pretty decent lodestone factory down here. We have got a pretty decent lithium factory down here, fully capable of being upgraded once we acquire corrosium, which might actually be next. Although I don't really know how much obsidian I'm actually making. I kind of just shoved it all into here because there's just kind of small patches scattered around everywhere. So I kind of tried to get as much as I could. And it looks like this one isn't even drilling. Oh, I'm going to have to go deal with that. Okay, but anyways, I don't know how many of these are actually active. Hopefully it's all of them, but I'm not really sure. So we should be getting hopefully a pretty decent amount right now. Also, I need to start moving these guys to their permanent defensive locations. Hopefully they actually decide to go around the wall this time instead of face planting into it. And it actually looks like we only have one wall on this side, which actually does make sense. So I guess we can leave those 3 there, and we can send the other ones to their posts on these other 2 here. Next order of business, now that we have obsidian, is to upgrade basic resource production because Fahrenheit has been a problem since we started here. I don't know where we're going to even upgrade it, though, because there is not a lot of 3 patches anywhere. There's a lot of 2s, but not a lot of 3s. We could still definitely do the upgrade, of course, but we just won't get nearly as much if we had patches of 3. Plus, pressure's kind of free at the moment, so that's not a huge concern. So we're going to do upgrade those, and then I'll probably go straight for upgrading the lodestone, and then work on some corrosium. We'll see if we have time, because we only have about 6 minutes and 45. All right, let's do it. All right, I somehow managed to pause it and complete everything that I wanted to with 2 seconds left to spare. Lucky timing, I suppose. All right, anyways, let's get these guys back on go there mode, and they're going to be defending this. So essentially, we have completely upgraded the lodestone, and it looks like we're not getting enough Fahrenheit anymore. Right, because I was only putting 4 in. I forgot to upgrade the Fahrenheit for there. Okay, well, we'll have to upgrade that in a second. That's going to be a pretty easy solution. We can just put in the big drills. To be fair, we already have 1.2K, so I think we're doing fine there. We have kind of upgraded the lithium down here, but also not really, because I used half of it to make power, because we are going to obviously need power for this whole base, which is what I've been doing for the last like 3 minutes, running a big power spine all the way up from our generators to each and every wall. We added in some cavaliers. Only 20 waves? That's actually extremely concerning. Right, we need to get corrosium, indeed. We need to get corrosium going pretty much ASAP right after this. With the defenses, we have added in a bunch of Cavalier, which this one doesn't even seem to be powered because I probably ran it through a tree. Yep, I ran it through a tree. Okay, well, we'll have to go fix that. But also, we've got basically Cavalier everywhere, Menders everywhere. Hopefully that's enough to hold out the first wave or 2, which buys me enough time to get corrosium turrets and corrosium tech, and also probably barite Vesmonium, because that's actually going to be a pretty easy solution, considering we have an ample amount of power and a pretty open barite biome down to the south. So that is what we're probably going to go end up doing next. Let's get our corrosium first. There's lignite up here. Our water pond is pretty small. Let's go ahead and use some exothermic pumps, and I'm pretty sure this is like super deep anyway, so we're going to get some extra water out of this, which is going to be great. Get some water, get some corrosium, get some barite, get some Vesmonium. Hopefully don't die in 5 minutes. That's the plan. Alright, Crozium has been acquired. We do have some enemies. I am betting they are barite creatures. Indeed they are. I did try to shoot out this hive with some skip earlier. It looks like they completed their mission and then are now out of range. So we're going to have to go deal with these guys. That's fine. Hopefully they don't light my lignite on fire, even though they literally just did. Let's check the rest of the map. Are we going to have any more problems? Those should get destroyed. Those should get destroyed. I think we should be fine. Now I have to deal with this, which is great. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to do something like this. We're going to save this as temp, and we're just going to tear the whole thing down. Yep, that should put out that fire, and then we can just simply put it back. Okay, and now while we are down here, I am going to go ahead and move these skips upwards just to get rid of the rest of this hive. I don't want to have to deal with that again. All right, my core's under attack. That's probably not ideal. It's because there's a million bugs over here. Yeah, that's fine. Okay, looks like we need to get these guys on repair mode. They should fix all that up, and I think we should be fine. How is our walls doing over here? Looking good, looking good. Our core's under attack because there's a fire. They should shoot it, get it fixed up. And let's go have them go back. Okay, I don't want them going back down. That would be not good. Let's go ahead and upgrade our Fahrenheit as well because we kind of need to do so. There's 2 enemies on the map, and I don't know where they are. They're up here. I don't really care that much. We should be fine. Oh, where are we going to get extra Fahrenheit? That is the question. I mean, I'm going to sacrifice this lignite down here. I think that's actually going to be worth it because I need Fahrenheit more than I need lignite at the moment. And this should now supply us with enough Fahrenheit to run our lodestone factory at full tilt because I did not remember to do that before the bugs started showing up. So that's a little unfortunate, but nothing that a little bit of proactive fixing can't fix. All right, that should fix that problem. Okay, we do have Crozium now, so let's go ahead and upgrade our lithium production because that is the one that is currently lagging behind. Do I have enough space to place this? Just barely, but also not really because the power line is kind of in the way, but I think we can manage. And why do these guys not want to walk over the wall? That's really weird, but also I don't care because that makes things easier. Okay, we need to get rid of this hive down here, man. This is ridiculous. And there we go. Lithium has been upgraded. I also could upgrade our power infrastructure, although, okay, no, the first wave did not get here yet. It's about to in 4 seconds. Okay, here we go. Let's get ready to pause. Only 6. Okay, that's manageable? Probably. They did not spawn down there. They did spawn over there 2 shivs. We got 2 tiny air guys. I totally know the name. Parave. Yep, I knew that. And then 2 Shenong up here. And there's no luminaries down on this side? There's not. Okay. That's got me a little concerned. There is 4 classes of units and there's 4 drop zones. So are we going to have to fight an X-Pound? It would be kind of interesting if we did, I won't lie, but I don't know if we have time for that. Anyways, I'm going to go ahead and try to continue to get rid of this, because I don't think there's any turrets left, so I should be able to just place them, like, here. Yeah, there we go, and that should take the rest of that hive out. Okay, we should have our Crozium, we've upgraded our lithium, let's upgrade the second one, which I don't actually know if I can fit that over here. Okay, we have our new power setup, we've got our new lithium compactor. It's a little bit messy over here, but that is the nature of that schematic that I have. And we do have about 3.5 minutes, which does mean we should be able to get some barite and maybe some Vesmonium going. We do have plenty of power, 2.8k. These things are crazy, by the way. I don't know why I wasn't using these earlier. Anyways, we should be able to get a very good amount of barite with that, some Vesmonium with that. We're going to tap into every single one of these geothermal, or I guess radiation vents to get some power. Unfortunately, we are going to have to put actual drills down onto barite in order to actually, you know, get the barite. We don't have a lot of liquid to go around this time, which is fine because I would have to pipe water over here anyway, and I don't want to deal with that. So let's go ahead and get some barite first. Probably, let's do 2 sets. It's going to take a lot of power, but I think it's going to be worth it. Okay, there's barite in. We are currently experiencing an extreme mess of spaghetti over here because, yeah, future planning is not my strong suit, apparently. But anyways, barite's acquired, and now we're going to basically throw down the same thing and get a full-powered Vesmonium occulter as well. And there should be some lignite around here somewhere, right? I am not insane. There's some down here. Okay. And it looks like the majority of this hive is taken out, except for the actual hive. Really, guys? Come on. And now look at that. We can actually fit 2 of these drills on there, which is good because we do have the available power to do so because of all of these radiation vents. And the second wave has just arrived. There is 16 enemies. We need to start upgrading defenses next wave. Ooh, and there's only 2 minutes. Okay. You know, this might be the barite hive. We're going to have to do something about this top defense. They keep getting through here. That's going to be the first one we upgrade. But let's get some Vesmonium first. We are very close. Alrighty, and there's our fully fledged Vesmonium occulter, and we have about 10 seconds till the next wave gets here. This is probably going to be the one where we start seeing tier 2s. So let's get some upgrades going, shall we? 15 enemies. You know, all things considered, that's really not that bad. Anything down here? No. How about up here? Oh, there are only, what? 5 shivs, 5 shenong, and 5 parave. Okay. And then we've got 6 minutes. We're chilling. We're chilling. Okay. That's not too bad. All right, well, we have our Vesmonium. I think the next thing we're going to do is either get another one, although I don't really know how much power we have. 2.3, that's actually not horrible. We definitely could get another one, or we could upgrade this. I don't know if, actually, how much is this making? We're making a little less than 2 per second, and this takes, I think, 5.7. So if we put another one down, this would be a full bore. We should probably just do that. Yeah, that makes sense. And then this will make, should be making about 2.85 if my math is correct. I don't know if it is, but we could realistically afford to send one. So we would only get 1.7-ish Vesmonium, but we would also get 1 Dresden. So we're probably going to end up doing 2 Dresden Crucibles down here somewhere. We do need to find some vents, though. And I can see 1, 2 nitrogen vents, or 2 nitrogen synthesizers over there. We do have water here. Oh, perfect. I didn't even think of that. Ooh, and we do have more lignite. Okay, you know what? Let's just get some going first, and then we can deal with that. And I am going to put it down here because, well, we've got plenty of space. And I have a feeling my defense will be completely fine, although if it isn't, I will be the first to know because my core will be under attack for the 18th time today. Alright, well here's our nitrogen over here. Let's plug in this guy. It's also pretty much half powered already, which is great because of the solar panels, so we really just have to plug it in with a tiny little bit of power, or we just connect to the solar panel like that, which would fix the entire problem. And we need to grab some Vesmonium, which is priority coming from this area, so we should be able to underflow here. We'll just run it straight into the middle. Minor inconvenience, never mind, we won't do that. And that should be our Vesmonium going in, and we should be making our Dresden, which will go straight back into the same barite line. Okay, there we go. We're going to put another one down on the other side here. Just copied over. All right, there we go. We also went ahead and I just chucked in another one here, so we're getting our Vesmonium. We are getting our Dresden. We are actually running out of nitrogen. Let me go check on that. Why are we running out? That one's full. Uh-oh. Ah, yes, we've got... No? Oh, yep, that would do it. Okay, there we go. That should be full nitrogen. Yes. Okay. Oh, and also another thing that I noticed. The nitrogen got retextured. Look at that. And I think there's one other, right? Yep, silicon tetrafluoride also got retextured. All right, but now we have everything. We have all of the resources, and now it's time to work on some defenses. All right, I think for the first defense, we're going to go for this side, and I think I am just going to go for 4 defenses. I know that's usually not a good idea, but we do have a lot of the little builder units, as you can see right here, so I don't feel like too bad about splitting it 4 ways. Plus, we are going to have, I think, well, let's see, we have 4 defenses, we have 24 total capacity, so that's 6 on each side. And we've already got 3 down there, so if we move 3 more down there, then that'll be all 6 for the southeast or bottom right side. So let's get that started first. Now, I am thinking about using Vesmonium as ammo, as I basically do for every single other thing, mostly because it's a pretty good ammo source, let's be honest. Pretty easy to make, pretty easy to mass produce, and you can just make a lot of it. Now, I don't actually know where I'm going to put this, though. That's kind of the problem. There's a whole bunch of these little trees in the way, and they're kind of like lines, so there's not really a place to put a thick wall. I mean, here we go. We could do something here, 2 layers, turrets back here. We're going to go with the classic, probably some Varites, some Cometites, maybe some Myriad. You can shoot Vesmonium. Yep, Myriad, maybe some Concite. Typhoon still can't shoot Crosium. Wait, they still can't shoot Vesmonium. Long day, but that's okay. So yeah, probably Concite, Myriad, Varite, Cometite, maybe a Project in there as well. I don't know. We'll see. But yeah, let's just get a wall going over here. And also, if we can get these little healing guys to come over to here and assist layer, that would be great so we can actually get this defense going. Now, we're also going to need to run the power line out here. I probably will need to increase our power output eventually. But for now, let's just run with what we got. Unfortunately, I don't really have a lot of space to do water cooling, which is a little bit unfortunate, but that's okay. We'll probably just end up putting a bunch of the beefy turrets in the back anyway, like Comedites. All right, now another thing to note is we are going to have to get our Vesmonium actually, into ammo, and I don't really know how I'm going to do that. I think I'm going to make a little cargo station and have it go into there. But with that being said, I don't think we're making enough at the moment. Oh. Looks like that guy made it through. Okay, well, that could have been bad. I feel like this will be the next place that we start beefing up here because they are currently getting through. We do need to get more Vesmonium because we are going to be using it as ammo, and we are not building it up very quickly. We do have plenty of power, right? Ooh, no, we don't. We are not doing good on the power. We need to fix that. Could make some more of the discharge generators. I could use one of these advanced generators, maybe even a diffusion reactor, because this only takes 30 heat is a bit absurd. Nitrogen, silicon tetrafluoride. We don't really have the obsidian for that. Drayston destabilizer. We are making Drayston. It makes a stupid amount of power. We just need a stupid amount of water, which I don't know where we would get. We could try to put it up here, but that's really risky. Not a whole lot of water in this sector. We need to find more obsidian. We're probably just going to leech it off of the current line we have, although we are not getting next to anything in the core right now. That's probably because I used it all in the myriads. No? Where's it going? Where's all my obsidian going? That doesn't make sense. What did I build? 240 for this, but like, huh? Where is it all? I don't know, but our next wave just spawned in. What are we dealing with? Not a whole lot. Bunch of little guys. Bunch of little guys. Bunch of little guys that are going to punch through our defense because I have not put ammo in it. Okay, you know what? Let's go grab some Vesmonium. We're going to run over to the defense real quick, which is down here. We're going to put some into that vault that I placed down, and that will hopefully hold out for at least long enough to take out a couple waves before I get actual ammo going into all of these. Yeah, that's not ideal. They are going to want to go that way all the time. I don't want them to do that. Yeah, okay, well, there we go. Ammo's in, we have ammo and everything, that should be fine for now. Okay, Vesmonium, that's what we're doing. We need power, obviously. Oh my god. Calm down, everything is fine, nothing to worry about. You know, honestly, I think we need to start claiming some more space. They will usually go this way, so I'm not super concerned about that. So we may be able to put it down here. Actually, yeah, I think we will. Let's go ahead and do that. Plus, I did see a bunch of water. Oh dear. That is interesting. We might just be able to do the Drayston destabilizer for 1200 obsidian, by the way, that I don't have. And I can't believe this thing actually worked. I made the probably jankiest way to distribute lignite around here, but it actually works. So, you know what? I'll take it. Anyways, this should be a significant amount of water that we can use to do anything with. Power. What are we looking like? We are at 1.6 when we're not shooting. Oh, yeah, you know what? We are shooting a bunch of turrets, aren't we? So, you know what? Let's just build some batteries. I've also just discovered something that is extremely infuriating. The nitrogen synthesizer over here is in range of this core tile, so I have to move it or rebuild it every wave. Oof. All right, and there we have it. There is more Vesmonium. Now, I want to send the Vesmonium straight into some kind of drone station. Oh my god, that was real time, by the way. That's how long it took for me to remember the drone station's name. Not even correct, by the way. It's a cargo base station. I might be cooked. Okay, well, anyways, I want to send this into a cargo base station, and this is how we're going to supply all of our Vesmonium ammo. I'm just going to fly it around in a cargo drone, because that makes way more sense, right? There we go. So all the Vesmonium is going to first go into the drone station, which then will go into ammo, and then we will secondarily get it into our core here. I think we should be fine with all of our Cavalier, but just in case, might as well come up here. The mechs I'm not worried about at all. Okay, let's get our next defense going. You guys, come over here. Let's get this built. All right, so that should be good for this defense. Minus power. We need to plug that in. Let's do that now. Do not forget to plug in your defenses, everybody. That is an important thing to do. Nice, so that is 2 out of 4 defended for now. This is obviously the initial defense. We will be upgrading this as we get more Vesmonium and such. Speaking of Vesmonium, not Vesmonium, Drayston, I do need to go replace the nitrogen synthesizer. I should just move it. But there's not enough vents down there, you know? That's kind of the problem. I gotta find another vent, and it's like, ugh. Okay, well, I mean, I guess I could use this one all the way down here. Ugh. Yeah, let's just do that. Fine, I'll put a little pressure schematic, and we'll use this to get our obsidian. Okay, there's our nitrogen problem solved. Cool. That's also our power problem made worse, because we're running at minus 1.2. Oh, yeah, it's because it's not connected. That would probably do it. Yeah, okay, well, there we go. That's why our power was going down, because it wasn't working. You know what? Let's do it. Let's build a destabilizer. This is going to take a while, but that's fine. I don't have any builders over here, and it's not like I have the resources anyway, so, well, I guess I do. All right, you know what? You guys come over here and help me build this. This is going to take forever if I don't. Oh, also, are we actually good? We have our water. You know what? Let's cancel this build real quick, and just as a precaution, you know, let's put some water things right there. Oh, and the next wave is here. 81 enemies. Escalation has definitely began. We should be able to take that out, and our 2 defenses should be fine. What about this one? Just buried creatures. Okay, plus this myriad over here hopefully should be able to take the walkers out pretty quickly. Let's see how this holds up to the tanks. Not even a concern, they don't even reach, and these guys are probably already dead. Yeah, okay, not too worried about that. There we go, that should fix our power problems forever. Okay, so now that that is good, we can go ahead and... What were we making that power for? I don't actually know why we were doing that. Was it to get something in larger quantities? Because we have our 2 Vesmoniums already. Oh no, we built the Vesmonium first and then ran into the power problem. That's what it was. Okay. Plus, we are still not getting a whole lot of obsidian, so we have plenty of water over here. Let's just go grab some more obsidian with an obsidian cooler and then run that into the core, and then we can just have our Crosium, or the original obsidian we made, go into Crosium. I think that's a good idea. All right, here come the walkers. They should get taken out pretty effortlessly. And indeed, they did. Okay. We got 4.5 minutes. Let's go ahead and get our next defense going, and I'm thinking we're going to put it over here. I would like to not put it in the obsidian biome because of all the stupid trees everywhere. We're going to have trees wherever we go anyway, though. But also, nothing really comes from this way, so maybe we don't have to worry too much about this one. Although, with that being said, there is a drop point here, so we're definitely going to want to defend this sooner or later, because I guarantee you that's going to be the big surprise of this sector. It's like, oh yeah, this never activated until wave 15 when there's 3 tier 5s there. So... let's go ahead and get the other one going first, though, because we know where that is. And this is the Barite biome, so we are going to have plenty of space to work with over here. And now that we actually have a pretty decent amount of Vesmonium, I can afford to do this with the walls. All right, and here's the defense up here, done for now, of course. We are going to be upgrading all of these. But we got basically a bunch of Vesmonium myriads up here. And this is probably the strongest of the 3 defenses because A, it has the most turrets, and B, we have plenty of space to work with. Before I even do anything, let's go ahead and build this one. Yep, we're just going to go straight over here and we're going to build this one. I feel like we should be able to wall it off here and then have plenty of space to work with. We will need to take care of this, which is what I'm going to do now. I don't actually know how I'm going to do this, though, because this turret's going to want to shoot. So if I can just do this, essentially just distract it. Oh, but it wants to shoot these turrets first, which is really annoying. So what if I put them over here? Yeah, you want to shoot at these, but you actually can't. And then I can use this lignite over here to hopefully burn this out before it becomes a problem. There we go. Now it wants to shoot at me and it's getting burnt out by the scorches. There we go. Turret's down, and that should be able to get rid of the rest of this hive. Okay, so that has been solved, and now we can build our defense over here. Now I do need to get some little builders over here. We've got 4. That should be enough. Alrighty, and we did just have the next wave show up. We are dealing with a bunch of tier 2s, dead tier 2s, dead tier 2s, and nothing from the 4th one again, which is my concern. This is going to start spawning something crazy, which is why I'm gearing towards this defense to be the one that I spend the most time on, which you think would be a little dumb, but I don't know, it kind of makes sense. Now, we do have water cooling on this side. It's not going to be enough for every turret, but it will be enough for some of them. Or, well, actually, most of them. The only one we'll be able to get is these 2 inside close ones, but that, I think, is fine. Okay, so there we go. You guys can stay there, and now I think it's time to start beefing things up with some Drayston, because we can. 2 projects in the center, because why not? We can put that on the water. We do need pressure for these, so we are going to have to deal with that, but that's not too bad. Yep, and each project takes a full 18 pressure, which we can put all the way up here, because we're not really going to be doing much up here anyways. All right, and there we have our projects in place. Now we are going to basically just throw in a bunch of Comedites, because Comedites are very effective, and they can be overclocked to, I think, 150%, and they can just shoot the Vesmonium we already have over here. Honestly, probably my favorite turret on this entire planet. They're just really good. Let's place them in. Alrighty, it looks like our new bottleneck is lithium. That's not really surprising, all things considered. We might want to go get some more. Yeah, we do have plenty of time, so I'm not super concerned, but yeah, lithium is not looking too good right now. Especially because the amount of heat distributors you need to run one of these at like super high efficiency is a little bit absurd. And there we have 8 more lithium per second. That should deal with that problem. Okay, where were we building? We were building over here, yes. And there's our Guardian pushing in 10 waves, so at 18. Interesting. Okay, still nothing down here. We got... okay, it looks like we're starting to get some tier 3s in place, so... oh... yeah, that's not ideal. Is there a hive up here? Right, we are going to need to take care of that. I forgot about that. Here come the tanks. There's some tier 3s in there. Not like it's going to matter. We will need to get some force fields and replace these walls soon because those look to be pretty weak. Also, we need to plug that in. And that looks to be fine. Okay, yeah, we need to continue to upgrade. You know, even with, I think, what are we at? 16 lithium per second. We're still not getting enough to build all these, which is absurd, by the way. But, yeah, that's just how it is, I guess. Yep, and there we go. I think that should be pretty good for now. We've got Project Comedites. We've got a bunch of some water-cooled myriads. We've got water-cooled Projects. which it says you can, but it doesn't display on the bar, which is interesting. Commodite says you can't, but I did anyway, so who knows. But I think this is pretty competent for this one. So let's go ahead and fix up the one up north, because I'm pretty sure the power lines have been cut by the barite creatures that keep showing up and lighting fires on my power lines. And then we can go ahead and upgrade that one next. All right, water cooling is down on all of those, and I think I'm going to go ahead and cut this radiation reactor out just so we can fit in more commodites. Unfortunately, there's not really another way to get heat around here. We don't really have access to, red sand. Ooh, you know what? Hold on just a second here. I'm thinking we could try to put some Cretite Etnas down. They take power, and it's going to be annoying, but we could end up using that. But also, at the end of the day, it's just so much effort to get Cretite set up when there's not a lot of resources around here. I'd have to set up a whole red sand filter thing. Man, that's just a significant amount of effort just for a little bit of time saving, or I guess lithium saving. And since we have so much already, I don't think it's worth it. Okay, you know what? It's fine. Let's just go ahead and get our commodites in place here. All right, we do have wave number 9 coming in right about now. Let's see, what are we dealing with? A lot of tier 3s. Bugs, a lot of tier 3s, and let me guess, a lot of tier 3s. Yeah, we should be, oh dear, what? Oh, that's not powered. Okay, that's what we're going to go deal with next. Actually, why is this not powered? Oh, God. Yep, okay, that's what we're fixing next. Why is this not powered? Because I ran it through a tree. I seriously have a bone to pick with these trees, man. Bro, every time. It's always the trees that get me. Always. And they've killed all my units over here too, which is just oh so fantastic. Alright, and the next problem we've ran into is we're out of lodestone, so I may have to go make some more of that as well, which is great. But also, I'm using a discharge quarry. I realize that I have a stupid amount of power, so I can afford to do this. I can just shove down things that use power basically everywhere with kind of no consequence. So I'm going to be doing that, and this should now be making 5 lignite, so we can chuck in 5 total commodites with 1 lignite burner each. They are only at 10 or 100%, or I guess they're 104%, but still. They're not like super boosted like the other ones are, but there's 5 of them, so that should be pretty good. Alright, and our next wave did just show up. Let's see what we're dealing with. A lot of tanks that got smoked. I'm now concerned about the planes over here, the little hovercraft. Actually, I think we're fine, but we are going to go over there and upgrade the wall next. That is our next goal, because they almost got through. And how are we doing up here in Mech Land? I assume we're going to be great. And how about here in nothing has happened here yet? Bugs. Okay, cool. This should probably get taken out, no concern at all. But we will need to go over here and get this upgraded as well. But I think this is going to be completely fine. These guys are slow. And we do need to get ammo in there, so you know what? Yeah, let's do that. This should be fine. It's got 5 commodite, it's got a project, it's got beefy defenses, we've got menders, we've got everything. And force fields. This is the first one that has force fields, so I think that one's going to be perfectly fine. Yeah, we're definitely going to need to get some more lodestone. I'm going to have to figure out where we get Fahrenheit. Oh, that was easy. Okay, well, I guess that's the next goal. There's sand up here, there's water right there, there's Fahrenheit here, life is good, that's what we're doing next. Alright, now I am sending this into the line with obsidian on it, so this may get backed up a little bit, but we will have a bunch of extra lodestone now. Very good, let's continue building this area and get this going. Alright, next wave's here. Yep, basically it's entirely tier 3s now, up here as well, and let me guess, entirely tier 3s over here, yep. And our power line's cut off, so we need to go fix that. And this is all burnt out, and this is not done yet. Oh my god. Okay, well, that's the next thing we're fixing. And also down here, I think this is just the bugs. Hovercraft, walkers, tanks, bugs. That's not that bad. So we might actually end up seeing one of those big bugs. I don't know. I guess we'll find out. You know, I think I've discovered what the problem is. It's not that we're getting lodestone too slowly. Look at how much we're getting. That's absurd. It's the fact that we're building so fast. I can waste like 300 in like maybe 4 seconds because of these building guys that we have. Crazy. You know, that is another reason why I tend not to use these as much, is because I feel like I'm running out of resources even though I'm not, because we're building so fast. Okay, so I think this should be pretty good. Let's just make sure these all have ammo. Yep, all have ammo, all have heat. This is a pretty solid defense. I don't think anything's going to get through that. You know, I say that and then something will get through that, but I think we're good. So, this one over here, 5-1, this is the weakest defense, so this one will be the one that we first buff by putting probably a bunch more commodites just down here. This one over here has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 3 of these, actually. Alright, and our new problem is that we are out of Drayston. That is fine, because that is to be expected. Okay, tier 3s. I think all the other tier 3s are probably dead. Those were bugs. Let's check our defense down here. They didn't even get close. Let's check our defense up here. They didn't even get close. Not much else I can really do here. I could try to put in another one of these guys, but to be fair, they're pretty expensive to set up, and I need another vent, and I need to get Vesmonium into there. I don't know if that's really worth it. But while we're waiting, I guess I could just chuck in the parts that don't need Drayston. You know, I did just have a thought here. Yeah, there's a lot of barite. We got some lignite right here. We've got some geodes, and we've got a vent. I mean, next wave's here. We've got some more Vesmonium. I'm going to turn all of this into Drayston because I'm insane. 5 waves to go, and we do have our first tier 4s. So let's go look at the tanks first. Yeah, I think the tanks are going to get here first. Their shields got popped basically instantaneously, and I think the tier 4 is already dead. Okay, that was easy. How about the air guys? I think the Taquant, is that what that's called? Yep, the Taquant is probably going to instantly die. Indeed it did. And over here in Mechland, Mr. Apex, probably going to get smoked just as fast as all the other guys have been. That would be correct. It's survived a little longer, but not too much longer. And Bugland, yeah, nothing's changed. Alright, wave 14 is here. We have 6 nitrogen synthesizers over here. I decided not to go on vents because it would be more annoying, so I just made 6 of them. This should be enough to run 4 Drayston Crucibles, and I think that actually is enough Vesmonium to do so. That's going to be absurd. It's going to be excessive. It's going to be highly power inefficient, but I don't care because I've got a solid 5,000 available. Anyways, what are we dealing with? Probably more tier 4s, and more tier 4s. Let's check the tanks. Super dead. Let's check the air guys. Didn't even get to see them, and then over here they're going to get absolutely melted, and I assume the bugs got bugged. Yep. Okay, well, let's go get some more Drayston, even though we really don't need it because we already have 400-ish. Alright, wave 15 is here. 95 enemies, yep. I think we only have 3 of the tier 4s. 4, actually. Okay, you know what? Not too bad. I think we're going to go watch the air guys this time because I rarely ever get to see them. Well, the tanks are so much closer, though. That's kind of the issue. Yep, don't even stand a chance. How about air units? Same situation. And let's check over on the mechs. Now, obviously, as you can see, the defenses have been significantly beefed up. And we have 4 Drayston Crucibles running at full efficiency. That's kind of crazy. Also, they want to go up here now, probably to avoid all of these guys, although even here they'll still get hit by everything, so I don't know what the plan is, but it didn't work, obviously. Alright, back to upgrading. Alright, wave 16 is here, 2 waves to go until the Guardians get here. We have only 5 tier 4s, and let me guess, only 5 tier 4s, and for bugs, we have just a bunch of these snipers. Okay, that is interesting. I have went ahead and put a cargo base station on the 4 Drayston Crucibles, and we are now going to be using Drayston as our main source of ammo for this back wall here. I'm going to do something similar over here as well, assuming I can figure out how to actually do that, because this is pretty compact. It's kind of a mess in here, I'm not going to lie. But we're going to do the same thing for this one, and of course the bug defense as well, just so we can have some more advanced ammunition for these guys. Let's see how this wave is going to pan out, though. They're getting a little close up there, and that's slightly concerning. Air guys have not even considered making it close yet, and these guys I don't think are going to make it at all. And since we have a stupid amount of Drayston anyways, you saw on the wall up top with the tanks that I have been replacing the Vesmonium with Drayston, and then adding a temporary layer of Vesmonium on top of this that won't be mended, but we can just replace every other wave, so. And they died. Okay, back to work. Alright, wave 17, 1 enemy to go. We have gotten Drayston, basically put in all 4, wait a minute, all 4? Or is it just 3? Hold on, let me look if I did the bugs. Yes, all 4 of them. We now have Drayston in all 4. Now we just need to basically get rid of all of the Vesmonium on the lines, which is not a concern, obviously, because half this is already done. So, I think we will be pretty good for the rest of the sector. Of course, I will continue to beef things up, as I always do, because there is never such a thing as too much defense. But, I mean, I think we're going to be pretty much pretty much fine, right? They did get to the wall, but they didn't even get through one of the temporary walls. The air guy's already dead, and the mechs, well, we all know what's going to happen to them. Yep, that's what's going to happen to them. Alright, well, continue to beef up the walls and the Guardians, our next wave. Alright, Guardian is going to be here in 6 seconds. I have beefed up every single wall to have at least 2 layers of Dresden walls. That one has 3, this one has 3. This one I did not touch at all because bugs. I feel like I probably should have, but I mean, yeah, you know, it's fine. And this one has 2. This is extremely expensive, and I burned through basically 1,000 Dresden doing it, but I think that was worth it. Here we go. This should be the Guardian. I'm guessing 1 of each tier 5. Yep, plus a little bit of tier 4s. That's honestly not too bad. And this probably won't do much because we have a shield here. Yep. That probably did a lot of damage to all of those walls, but that's fine. They are cutting their way through. But it's not like it's going to be that bad. Okay, the Anectodon's dead. The Therese, Tequant, whatever. Averse. There you go. The Averse. Yep, probably already dead. I didn't even get to see it. And there goes the Anectodon, and the Cleaver over here probably will follow suit shortly. What about down here? Oh, I should have beefed the wall up over here. There is the very large bug. Oh, okay. Do you think this defense can take that out? Yes, it can, because that is going down, and once it gets to half, it's dead. We're going to need more walls over here, and we're going to need more defense. That's fine, though, because luckily I was, in fact, prepared for that. I figured something like that would happen. Good grief. Okay, well, that could have been bad, but it was not. Good. Anyways, how about the Cleaver? Yep, as expected. Okay, well, let's just go ahead and get everything repaired, rebuilt, and re-readied up over here. And the rest of the places as well. Let's just basically get everything back into tip-top shape and throw in a couple more upgrades basically everywhere. You know, as we've been doing the entire time. Alright, Guardian Plus this time. I am going to guess there's 2 on each front, and there is going to be probably 3 or 4 on each front next time. Okay, well, let's check. Oh, there's 3 already. Right. Okay, how about down here? 2! Okay. Ooh, I'm getting a little worried. I have beefed these up pretty much as significantly as I can at this point. Speaking of beefing it up, I've added 4 more Comedites over here with Dresden. That should be fine, surely, right? Over here, added another Project, added more walls, and this is the side that I'm going to be concerned about. And, yeah, you know what? Let's just go for it. Okay, here we go. Here come the tanks. This is probably the side that I will be beefing up further. Because, yeah. 3 Anectodons is crazy, and it's just going to get worse than this, so... Yeah, they're getting pretty far. That's not good. Actually, they're not really getting that far. They didn't even destroy a Dresden wall. Okay, you know what? I am actually pretty happy about that. I bet the air units are dead before I can even look. Those guys aren't too strong. What about the bug front? How is the bugs doing? Actually pretty good, all things considered. I think there's enough Comedite over here to take down a small country, so I think we're going to be good on the bug front. I will probably just place some more walls. And more turrets, because we can, why not? And how about up here in Mech Land? Yeah, I think we're going to be fine, but let's just watch just in case. Haven't really fought more than 2 mechs at once, so we need to figure out if I need to upgrade this. And the answer is probably not. Maybe just add a couple more walls just to tank some bullets, but that was highly... They didn't even get through any of the walls. Okay, never mind. I think we're going to be perfectly fine on this front. It's the tanks that have got me worried. Good to know. We've got 4.5 minutes to continue to upgrade for the second to last wave, or maybe last wave. I've been playing this game for how long, and I still don't know if 19 out of 20 is the last one or 20 out of 20 is the last one. Unbelievable. Back to upgrading, as I have been doing the whole time. I've said this 3 times by now because I've been doing it the whole time. All right, here we go. I think this is it. We have upgraded this area over here by adding a Syntakes with Dresden as its ammo source, which will add some slow effects, radiated, which makes it slower. We have 2 Tralix over here, which will also make them slower. and hopefully they will sit right here and get blasted by the project and the 2 cometites down here. Okay, I have not made any changes to the hovercraft area. I have not made any changes to the bug area, which is a little worrying. And I've added 1 extra layer of walls over to this area, I think? I don't actually know. Okay, anyways, the tank area is the one that's going to be worrying, and then it's the bugs. I think the hovercraft is going to be the one that I'm not even going to deal with, because it's just going to die instantly anyway. And then the mechs will be last, of course. Okay, here we go. Yep, last wave, here we go, and it's still only 3? Am I crazy? That's it? I prepared all this just for 3 more? Maybe they have, like, extra health or something? I don't know, but, I mean, doesn't this feel like it's kind of the same? Maybe they have got extra shield or something. I don't know, but, I mean, my cornea is just dead, so let's go into free cam now and watch this happen. I think there's actually... Yeah, they definitely have more health. Yeah, definitely. And they have destroyed the wall a little bit, but I think that's going to be fine. I would assume the hovercraft are dead before I can even look at them. Yep, as expected. That's not good. How's the bug front doing? Are we going to be dead? I think we've already killed 1. And there goes the second one, and we just have the mechs left, which there's 5 crest. I think this is the most out of all of them. Okay, but I think our defense is going to be able to handle it. Especially considering if you look at that health bar, yeah, it's going down pretty quickly. I think we're fine. And fine we are. Sector captured. All right. That was pretty good, honestly. I'm a huge fan of this sector. Mostly because, if you couldn't tell by now, I am not very good at attacking. I'm good at defending. And, yeah, as you can see by the base here, a little bit of infrastructure was required to defend this sector, obviously. Very good stuff. Would I say it's eradication? Absolutely. I think you probably could have added a couple more, maybe even 5 tier 5s to the tank side. And actually, I don't know if there was 5 down here because I didn't even see them. But there definitely could have been more on the tank side and definitely could have been more down here because I feel like you got the time for it. There's plenty of time in this sector to get prepared. And you need to be prepared because there's some crazy bosses out here. All right, well, that's going to be it for this episode. Next episode, all right, fine. We're gonna be working on that in the background, and hopefully I can actually manage to take it out in a timely fashion. I doubt it. Goodbye.